Part of the reason he's probably seen this type of progress, seen over 100-pound jump in his deadlift in just 6 months, does have an advantage that some people don't have on deadlift. What's good? It's Khalil Jamar. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. If this is not your first time on my channel, welcome back. Now, some of you might know who Tyson Ridenour is. If you don't, he is a fitness influencer. I believe he's 19 years old right now. He's basically a freak of nature. Not only is he known for his insane transformation when it comes to his physique, he's also known for the insane amount of strength that he's been able to gain over the last couple of years, especially on deadlift. To give you an example of how strong he is, he posted a video of himself a couple of months ago deadlifting 765 pounds, while he himself only weighed 185 pounds. And it was just a couple of years ago that he was only starting out at 315 pounds. And he did post a progression video of him going from 315 pounds to 500 pounds in just 6 months, which I know some people might say is skeptical. They might think that's a little iffy. But in my opinion, I think it was a completely natural progression. So let's go over his progression. Let's watch his progression of how he went from 315 pounds, 500 pounds on deadlift in just 6 months. So I do want to point something out. He starts off conventional and then switches over to a sumo stance. And he seems to do this pretty early in his deadlift progress. This is important, and I say this because the earlier you find out what suits you better and what's more comfortable for you, the easier and the faster you're going to see progress on a certain lift. When you want to perform better on a certain lift, one of the things that I had to learn was to prioritize finding the best technique that fits for you, then focusing on increasing the weight. There are two main reasons I say this. So let's say that you're naturally better at sumo deadlift than conventional, but you only have experimented with a conventional stance when you deadlift, and you've never tried to experiment with sumo deadlifting. You're missing out on working what's most optimal for you. You probably can lift a shitload more, but you're focusing your attention on a technique that's not best for you. The other reason I say that is because you could put yourself in a position to possibly injure yourself. So if someone is focused on lifting just the most weight or ego lifting, that person's putting themselves in a position to hurt themselves because they're not paying attention to what's safest for their body. And again, what's most optimal for their body when moving weight. They're just focused on moving as much weight as possible instead of moving as much weight as safely as possible. All right, so here it seems like he's kind of found what's most comfortable for him, and it seems to be sumo at this point. I do want to also point out, though, how long his arms are. Part of the reason he's probably seen this type of progress, seen over 100-pound jump in his deadlift in just 6 months, is not only because of his increase in strength, but also because, one, he's found a technique that suits him. And two, he does have an advantage that some people don't have on deadlift. And he's, again, he's just taking advantage of that. think he could have picked a better song than this. Song is kind of driving me crazy, but two things. Now that he's kind of found what's most comfortable, he can now work on building strength. You can see in the beginning he's really just aiming for that 1 to 2 rep range. Now that he's kind of found his groove, so to speak, he can now work on banging out reps, which is really going to help him improve that strength. Okay, so now he's at 470 pounds. Not only has he gotten better technique-wise, not only has he taken advantage of his body structure and the way his body is built, but it's clear that he has also increased in size as well. Pause. This increase in size is obviously going to increase his strength. Usually the bigger you are, the stronger you're going to be as well. Now everything's kind of coming together. Finally, we got to the end of that song. That song was a little bit too much, but I kind of wish he showed like the whole 500-pound deadlift instead of like showing the start and then the end. But regardless, it's impressive, especially add on 185 pounds onto your deadlift in just 6 months. It's impressive, and again, to me, it's completely a natural progression. What I do want to say is this, is that when he started out, like many of us when we're first getting into the gym, he probably did have the strength to lift more than 315 pounds. But again, when you first start lifting, your body is not adapted to lifting yet. You don't know proper technique. You don't know what works for you yet. So even though he started out at 315 pounds, he may have even had the strength to deadlift, 325, 335 pounds. But his body does have to adapt first. Once his body does start to adapt, not only is his strength going to start to improve very fast, but also his efficiency on deadlift is going to improve. Because from this video, and I may be wrong, it does look like he prioritized proper form before just trying to lift as much weight as he possibly could. Once he did get the technique down and found out what was most optimal for him, it looks like he starts to put more of an emphasis on building strength by either increasing the weight or increasing the amount of reps that he's doing at a certain weight. Most importantly, though, it is clear that he was dedicated to hitting that 500-pound deadlift. He came in focused and with a plan. It doesn't look like this guy plays around at all when it comes to getting stronger or when it comes to improving the way his physique looks. I can't wait to see where he's at in a couple of years and what he's doing. He's one of those rare guys that could have an insane physique and still be super strong at the same time. So again, I just can't wait to see where he's at in a couple of years. Guys, thank you for watching this video. That's the end of the video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video. See you guys later.